How's it going, everyone? Harrison Singer here. We are back with another interview in front of the most beautiful skyline, I would say, in the world. Call me biased, but that's my take on the matter. But I am with a very, very special guest. I am with a multi-platinum producer, but a certified diamond motivator, the one and only HDBeenDope. Dizzy, how's it going, man?
Going, bro.
Have you in?
Same here on a beautiful day.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful day here in New York City, and honestly, I'm kind of tight. Not really that tight, but I'm kind of tight. You didn't end up bringing A-Banko through. Seeing her, on you're on the radar interview,
really
right?
Fire, right?
That would have been.
Really thinking about that now.
Yeah, no.
My brain
I saw her in the.
I'll call her and see what she.
Yeah, I saw that tweet you put out about that kid. She met a few girls at school, and then this one kid named Evan, right?
Sorry, Evan.
Evan, if your parents are watching this, I'm sorry.
Yes, no, Evan is cool. You know what I'm saying? But
You did your background check.
It went into dad mode.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta be protected.
Dad mode.
So I wanted to jump right into the humble beginnings, right? So you born and raised originally in the Bronx, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Edenwald Projects?
Yeah, it was stomping grounds.
You bounced around a little bit, or was that where you?
It was, cause my mom, we was just always moving around, so it was just like, how you have that one stop, and it's just like, all right, just what I'm saying, I have cousins and stuff.
So what are the fun things, like what are the things that you would?
I haven't been there in a minute, but back in the days, that's basketball games and just like school stuff.
Dykeman, is that where you spend a lot of time? I know you pull up there a lot to watch the basketball tournaments and stuff like that.
That's like, it gives me a different type of drive. You know what I'm saying? How the people generate to the sounds of music, what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I get a little bit of that out of that.
Absolutely. I know that's one thing that you've said, moving out of the Bronx, you still have a lot of the time for creativity purpose, I guess you could say, head back, to your old stomping grounds to spark, I guess, some creativity. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like you have, like, everything resolved back to the streets. You know what I'm saying? What's new, like I said, what everybody's listening to. So it's like, you'd be lying if you say you don't. So how you being creative? But, I always got to go back and just tap in what's new, see what's going on, and come back with some new energy.
Absolutely. So even before, like, starting making beats, you were immersed in music at a very young age. Were you playing a little piano or something like that, right?
Yeah, my family, I know my grandmother, my aunt, one of them put me into piano classes, and I started playing the piano. But
how long that last?
The drums was more important.
The drums, yeah. Was your aunt, I guess, she had some instruments like around the crib and stuff like that, right? I've heard you say. So were drums one of those things that you picked up right off rip?
Yeah, she used to say I used to pick up like the straws from like McDonald's or something and start
beating. Really? Yeah?
So
that's very cool. So in addition to the Bronx, though, you also spent time in South Carolina as a kid, somewhere down south, right? So is that where you were living when your uncle gave you that CD with Fruity Loops on it?
Yes.
First time, right? So you're leaving school every day, going straight home, and just making beats, right?
Just making beats.
Right, and shout out to, St. Philip's James High School for producing a legend in the making, right?
That's tough. Facts.
Absolutely. So that's
town of the Bronx.
No doubt.
Road,
no doubt. So at first, though, you were saying like your beats were kind of whack, right? Like obviously that's changed considerably. But
the other day I was on my old computer, and I'm just like, damn, like the mindset changed over time. So it was just like, and I feel like more of that's gonna come. So
absolutely, growth. I mean, that's the name of the game. I watch my old interviews sometimes, and I'm just like, what the fuck was I doing? You know what I mean? So definitely. But sticking in this same time period, is there anything significant about TFF?
Wow, that's the family trait.
Yeah.
Like as
Get Fly too, right?
Yeah, that was like with the Get Light era. So it was just like the core of that still with the music with me, and I'm just like, and I was like the main producer for the crew. So
what's the story behind Get Loose?
Get Loose was a team, one of the team records, and it's just like now hearing it in my head now, like how like how program was crazy. That's a legendary beat. Like just the fact it had a bounce already.
Wasn't that the first like kind of sample you incorporated into a beat that you made, or one of the first?
It was my
your own voice,
my voice. Yeah. Get loose, and then probably my man Abe. One of them, somebody, I think it was my voice. I don't figure it out.
So most
team effort.
Absolutely. So again, just kind of building here, you know, in the very start. It's does this ring a bell? Beat after beat, beat after beat. Hold on. I don't stop. That's facts. Bronx versus Harlem. That's whack. Does that ring a bell at all?
Say it again.
Beat after beat. Hold on. I don't stop. That's facts. Bronx versus Harlem. That's whack.
Sound like my man Pete rapping, but I don't remember that.
That was you freestyling with Brandon Bangers, I think, back in like the early beat making days.
Damn. Yeah, shout out to Brandon. Yeah, that's tough.
You getting nostalgic at all?
Yeah, that's tough because I don't. That's crazy. So I'm listening like, wait, what?
Beat after beat, hold on. Beat after beat, hold on. Beat after beat. I don't stop, that's facts. I don't stop for rap. Niggas stop it on tracks. Bronx versus Harlem is whack.
No, so I came across that video and it had me thinking a few other things too. Like, are we ever, you know, maybe we don't get to see it out in public, but are we ever going to see the return of do-rag Diz too?
If I cut these off, if I cut them off, I'm back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Times, man.
So I was hoping.
That's crazy.
I was hoping you get a kick out of all that.
That's crazy.
I was hoping you get a kick out of that. And speaking of, I don't mean to be too corny here, but speaking of ha-ha-has, what can you tell me about Big Bank Music Group?
Oh man, the ha-ha-ha. I know you're referring to Tag.
Yeah, the old Dizzy Tag.
The old
Yeah.
Dizzy Tag. I don't know, man. I was just trying to find ways and everything at once. So it was like signature tag, a core crew already. It's just like I was already thinking that. It was just how the pieces was about to be.
So the mindset was there, like
it was already there if I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I would talk like I had 100 people behind me, but then it just be.
After that's right, trial and error at that point, right? You know, just keep going, you know, learn as you go.
Learn as you grow. So
absolutely, I can only agree with that full-heartedly. But you know, some of those first songs are under that Big Bank Music Group, right? Like Just a Melody, right? With is it Molly Stacks, right, or something like that, and Mind Your Business.
All these things is ringing in my head now.
we're getting nostalgic here.
Come on.
I'm from the Bronx, for really though, right? That was a banger. That was definitely a banger. If I had heard those songs like when they had first came out, like I would be very confident that this guy was gonna turn into something for sure.
Yeah, I was just trying low key, and then whoever picks it up, picks it up.
Yeah. Shout out Knuckles too, right? Done deal. That was a banger too. You produced
man.
that.
This documentary gonna sound
Absolutely.
crazy. It look crazy. It's just a whole lot of gems, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Knuckles, man.
So we're documenting the rise here, and really the focus on how far you've come, right? So in doing that, is it true you used to work at Enterprise Rent-A-Car?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, and Children's Place too.
Facts.
You referenced that in the first track, you know, True to the Game, right, on your project.
Pressure.
Yeah, on Pressure, right? So we're definitely going to talk a lot more about Pressure, because that, I mean, shit, it is such a good body of work, and
appreciate you.
The people you pulled on, and I want to get into more of that in literally a second for sure. But in all seriousness, though, you definitely came a long way, especially, you know, since those Enterprise days, since, you know,
6+ years.
Cooking up beats, right, at that Dell computer with the little desk, and freaking in general. I mean, to see you shine now, that'll always be a time period of your life you'll cherish, though, right?
Each moment it shows I ain't quit, and it's just like feeling those vibes. It's like I could help somebody else. If, you know, they need advice about.
Absolutely.
You know how they say you touch every or went through every emotions. So it's just one of those things.
So now getting into the come up, you know, like as Dizzy's starting to make a name for himself. You know, you told me on the phone, I stopped asking for support in 2016, and everything just went up from there. So I mean, let's talk about it, right? So correct me if I'm wrong too, but the first song you ever produced that really started to get like legitimate attention was "It's Whatever," right, by Swave.
Yeah. What, 2015?
Yeah, 2015, 2016, yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, and also around this time too, Swave's song "On the Scene" aired on BET.
Facts.
You were in that music video too, right? You produced the song, yeah.
I think I was in the video. This money throwing up in the sky.
Yeah. So also around this time though, Dave East posted a video of him rapping over one of your beats, right? Shortly after that, he hopped on a song by King Bless that you produced.
Facts.
Right, that was called "Love and Fear." This is all like 2016. Right, bringing it back still, but building on that come up. But shit, man, like talk about a full circle moment. By 2020, you didn't just have like any ordinary song on Dave East's album, right? Karma 3, which was a great freaking album. You had a freaking song with Mary J. Blige on it, right? So, I mean, how awesome was it to hear Mary J. Blige on one of your beats?
I was hyped.
I mean,
I was like, yeah.
She's a
I'll be
legend.
listening to Mary on the regular. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just to have that conversation and then to have the feeling that the record is right.
I saw her live at Live in Miami.
Was
From what I remember, she was great. It was a long ass night for me though. I'm not gonna lie.
I need to go to America. Like, I need to.
Yeah, no, she put on a show, and I mean,
I'll start doing some like shows. Start going out to some.
yeah,
shows.
bro. I mean, we'll get to your recent show at the Meadows, which I was at. That was fire. That was absolutely insane. Last question about the whole Mary J. Blige thing. Like, where would you say she ranks on like your list of placements as far as like internally? Damn, I really did that.
I don't have like rate like number wise. Like everything guys is like its own column.
Yes, its own story.
Yeah, so if it's like I'm gonna label goats and just throw
them all in there.
Throw all the goats, and you know what I'm saying? Like can't do who's number 1, 2,
Yeah. Other major placements, like other people, we're not going to give them ranks, but your placements essentially make up, give or take, most of my music rotation at this point, and just to wake up anyone who's still asleep, that list includes, but is definitely not limited to Pop Smoke, right? Mood Swings, Lil TJ, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Meek Mill, which I want to get into that a little bit, that unreleased, or maybe even 2 unreleased tracks, along with some really cool stories to go with it. But Lil Wayne, that's crazy. That's just absolutely insane. Fabio Foreign, Party Fontaine, multiple Dream Doll tracks. Shout out Pisces gang too. Are you you're March, right? So
March baby, March 9th.
So you're Pisces too.
Like my birthday is like goated.
I'm the 14th.
You're the 14th?
Yeah.
I think like rest in peace, Big Piggy.
Yeah.
9th he passed, yeah. But it's like in that, it's just a great day. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Absolutely. Yeah. So other notable ones like Rowdy Rebel. I've been bumping his new album. You had a placement there. The song Pain. Yeah, that one's fire. Styles P. Someone I knew about, but then like when I started really listening through like your catalog, bro, Neek Bucks is fire. Like he is really impressive.
When I met with Neek, I think I came into a session, just listening to the records. So I'm like, that's why I said back then I was like fake, already in like real producer mode. I'm just listening to the project. So I started playing beats, and then he's just like, he was picking so much beats, he just scrapped the first project. He was like, we doing a whole.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So after that, Streetz picked it up, and then it just, you know what I'm saying? So in the same breath, we're both elevating, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro doing good, I'm doing good, you know what I'm saying? We both got daughters.
What was the sample on the song Too Much? Was there like a sample you incorporated into that? Because that was incredible. It was just
sample,
incredible.
Damn. I fake want to say Adele.
Okay.
I think I sampled Adele.
The sound is incredible, but as a lyricist too, to compliment what you're doing, I was shit, like this is fire. Yeah, I don't want to leave anyone out too. We listed a bunch of major co-signs. It's just too many to name, so But I did want to ask you though about some of the stories behind some of these collaborations, right?
Talk to me.
Absolutely. So first one I wanted to start with is a recent one, Babyface. Right, so this is a legend, an absolute bona fide, solidified legend.
Bro, the story behind that felt like it happened in like 2.5 seconds. Hollywood Jew, he hit me, he texted me like, yo, Babyface, they got him on Wallow and Gilly show. And it was just like, word? So I think it was me, Loso, semi in there. I told Loso like, yo,
it's a violation.
Turn it on. That's violation.
Yeah, well,
If you didn't know, the producers were snipers. Shout out to Willie Javon. So yeah, we put this show on. So we skimming through it. So I heard the beat playing. So I'm like, oh, hold on, bring it back. So now we're listening to like leading up to it, and then just him co-signing.
And who was that?
That was Tink.
That was Tink. Listen,
Who's all featured on this record right here?
That was I'm on that record with her and Tink, and that's worked with Dizzy, I'm the producer.
Oh,
so it's great.
That's prize before that. You know what I'm saying? Like the story behind that I can't say, but when we got on the phone the first time, it was just like we were just locked in. Like he was just samples and just so.
Absolutely. So next up on the stories, I'm curious to know about some of these collaborations. Meek Mill. First question, you have one or two songs in the vault that you produced for Meek?
Probably say 3.
3, okay, bet. That's new.
Say 3.
Word. On one of them, is it true that Menace is one of the co-producers?
Yes.
Shout out Menace if you
Shout
get
out
around
Menace.
to this for sure. He has hits under his belt for sure. But is one of these unreleased tracks that you have with Meek one that got scratched off of his album Championships?
Facts.
Yeah. Damn, like I would have been sick. It's a great album.
Those moments just show my passionate side. You know what I'm saying? But humble. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of things you just take it like a man and just kind of.
So what happened at Jungle Studios while Meek was working on that album Championships?
Who I walked into? Jalil was there. Nick Paps. They was working on the intro.
The Phil Collins.
Facts. And it was just like battling. So it was just like, it's tough. Just because it's like, yo, these moments is like, when to take. You know what I'm saying? Or when the L's like, it's just, and then it's like, I didn't really realize who got the last resort until you heard the album. You know what I'm saying? It was
You didn't even know, like,
I
the
didn't
fate
even know.
of-
So
yeah.
once you heard the album, I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, shoot. Nick got it.
So what's the story, or is there a story? If there is, then what is the story of Meek Mill and James Harden in a Sprinter van?
Yes, that was the record on Championship.
And they posted a snippet of the song that you produced that never ended up getting released.
That's the one I got, that was on the...
Now, is it true that you sent that beat thinking that Meek wasn't even ever going to end up using it? You sent it to Davey saying, fuck it. And then, lo and behold, Meek's playing a snippet in a video? And then you had to circle back?
Yes, them things really happen, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. That must have been a sticky situation.
But then it was just looking at it, like, I feel like, you feel me, this is, like, in that time, like, my first album cut. So it was just like, all right, sometimes you just got to make a move. But then,
Not the worst problem to have in the world, right?
Yeah,
If Dave East or Meek Mill is hopping
so
on
it's
one of your
like-
beats. Yeah.
It's a gamble.
So another story that I want to dive more into is the Lil Wayne
Facts.
placement.
The way it went, like, me and Joel's, shout out to his nephew, Jacques, like, telling him, Diz got beats, boom, boom. So me and L's just been locked in, phone, passing beats back and forth. So in the same breath, probably months down, he called me and just playing the record on the phone. So I'm just, like, bumping, like, okay, I hear his verse. And then I just started hearing Wayne verse. I'm like, what? He's like, I told you I got you. I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even really think too much about it. And then Prior's down. I didn't really think too much about it. I know when I was going to the studio, a post came up through Mac Main. And I'm like, the hell
What's
is
going
this?
on here?
So I'm clicking. I see Joel's post, so I'm like, this got to be the song that he played on the phone. Then when Lil Wayne posted it, I felt like that was like I don't know how to explain it, like the hype, the excitement was like out the roof. I seen Lil Wayne post, so now my phone is ringing. the phone is ringing.
Funk Flex is going crazy.
He's So you just is one of those.
Wayne's a GOAT, undisputed GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
But Room Around the Street, you know, that song Bloody Mary on Dedication 6, mixtape Wayne is, you know, some people say that you, I guess, brought the old Wayne back.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Because he was going a certain flow before. So when that was coming, I'm like, yo, all right, I hope I don't get that wheezy. I want the old wheezy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
So
guess, yeah.
I could play that, and some people would think that's just, wait, that just dropped or something?
Yeah.
Like, cause it's
That definitely
over
means
the
like
Tupac sample, you know what I'm saying?
Yep,
You know,
yep. No,
the
it
sample,
definitely,
yeah, you
that
know?
definitely means like the beat that like hit him somewhere where it brought that back out. So another one of these stories that I want to know more about too is how you once ended up finding yourself at Diddy's house.
My first time going to LA, and shout out to Phil. We all went out there, like Meadows, the whole crew, but this is when I locked in with Kai Cash.
Mm-hmm.
And going to the studio, he was like, yo, you know, no, he hit me, he's like, yo, I'm in LA. He said, word to me too. So we in the studio. I'm like, all right. So he just sent the address. So I'm like, Phil, you know what I'm saying? Engineer, we out, bro. And so we just driving, going up the hill. So mine's my first time. I'm just like, yo, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like this feel good. We just get to I don't want to break down how the crib described, but it was just like, I just remember Diddy doing one of his like ads or something, and it was just
Ciroc or was it?
something.
Yeah,
So it was just like, I'm like, yo, this look familiar. But then when I hit Kai, and he came out, it was just like how the door, it's just fire.
Yeah.
So if we get in there, it's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, we're not thinking of a moment if he's gonna just pop out or something. It's just
like
and then going into the studio, it was just like, Nipsey was in that room
he was.
when he was working on Victory Lap.
Yeah.
So it was just, I already caught that moment, like,
Shit, I didn't know
I
Nipsey
got
was
it.
there.
Yeah.
I know, like, I heard you say, like, Shaq's son pulled up and...
yeah, it
and
was
some other
just
people
like,
were there.
it started getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, just it was feeling right. Just was just like, all right.
It's just like, yeah, like, shit, I made it.
First
you know
time
what I
in
mean? I'm in
LA.
LA, I'm around all of this.
All
like,
of this is going on, and just to like go back home and, you know, just like, yo, how was that? You gotta.
Yeah. One of my questions about that was, like, how was that not, like, such a motivating experience to have, to take all that in?
Wrong. I just went back in the studio
Yeah.
and just went harder.
Drive, just, yeah. We're not going to get into the specifics of how that'd be his house. That'd be weird. But like one funny thing I have heard you say in the past, I guess I'll phrase it this way: the mirrors were really nice.
I went to the bathroom. You know, I just looked to the left, like, oh, just the mirror is like just the size is just you're just looking at
Were
yourself.
those the biggest mirrors you've probably ever seen?
Yeah. I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah. So this is like one of the last ones of this, you know, like just these stories that you have that I feel like as many people as possible, you know, bless the people with, you know. If I'm not mistaken, is it true that Pop actually texted you like 5 days like before he passed about like beats or something like
yeah,
that?
we were supposed to, I think we were supposed to link at the studio. I was with my boy Mercy Porter.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's on the Pressure, right?
Pressure album, yeah. And
Drill and R&B, right? You produced all that. Yeah, we'll get to
Young
that.
boy,
too.
yeah, we get to that.
Yeah.
But he was, it was just, he didn't pull up that night. So it was just like, all right, boom, boom. Leads up to that text message. So it was just like, oh, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. I didn't get to meet him, but word must have got around to the point where it's just for that to happen.
Right.
So
I mean, Mood Swings, how many times platinum? Is that 5 times platinum or something? It's #1 in Portugal for a long time. I saw like the #1 song.
I
in the whole
haven't really
country.
tapped into like how big the numbers is on each platform and stuff, but it's just like, I just feel that it's like,
I mean, the
just
song
sky
is
roof.
gigantic. Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's still going.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So another one, like another story, I guess similar, and we just, you know, you just mentioned him, Nipsey Hussle, right? Now, I've heard you say specifically that Nip was probably your favorite artist.
Yes.
Right, and there's a lot of reasons, whether it's the actual music, whether it's the business, whether it's what he stood for. And one of the bars, too. Shout out Tony E., who's on the song,
Yes.
you know, live from L.A., right? You're like, what is it, take it out the window like Nip, right? You, little homage or something like that.
Yo, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, the energy, like, the right people around. Shout out to Loso. He's making the beat in the crib, like, and I'm just, like, Tony, I'm like, yo,
Song's fire.
let's just do this.
Song's absolutely fire.
So, I'm about to listen to Pressure today.
Dude, between today and last night, I'm probably up to about 7, 8 listens through just in the last 12
I'm about to
hours.
listen to that. Bring that.
You get right.
Bring that,
You get ready.
that theory back in my head.
There's so much like greatness on that album, you know what I mean? And the way that you, like, I've heard you also say about that album, you could have brought on, you know, anyone that was up and coming, right? Essentially. And you decided to go very selectively with artists that people might not, the masses might not have heard about. Because you knew, like, some of all these artists had greatness in them. And it's just like by nature, it seems like you're someone that naturally just put people on, you know?
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, with that, you bringing it back then and kind of peeping the features where it's like, okay, like you said, nobody knew, and then putting them on is just bringing them on. I was already had that mindset of teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I don't know, it's natural, bro. I can't really explain it in a way of like, yeah, God, it's just natural. That's just who I am.
Chemistry. And that's something I know you value. You know, like one thing you said you value most when you're working with an artist is the genuine connection, right? The chemistry.
Yeah, like it gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel the energy when it's serious. You can feel when it's just like, okay, and then you feel like, oh, wait, this is BS.
And I want to dive into that conversation. But one last Nipsey Hussle question: Is it true that you were supposed to be flying out to LA to go link him out there? You know, I guess.
It was a play called, and I'm just like, it's crazy in the process of even making them type beats for him. So it was just like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And just to wrap up the big, because I want to segue right into the artist that you're tight with, that you're building really a movement with. But right before we do, one quick thing, speak on this as much as you can or want. Is it true that something may be in the works with Justin Bieber? Dare I say, or is you could shoot it down? You could be like maybe.
It's so crazy that like that's one of them records I just. Not say I don't speak about. It's just when it happens, it happens. A whole lot of records that
no pressure at all.
Potential, hit the surface that it's like, oh shoot.
So I've heard you say like some artists you would love to collaborate with on like a large scale. You know, those include Future, Brent Faiyaz, right?
Yes.
J. Cole. Are those still like
Nah, that for sure. They just evolve. You know what I'm saying? Like those are they're goats
in their own lanes.
You know what I'm saying? Like in their lanes because it's just so mastered. You know when somebody's mastered, it's like, all right,
like on the top of what they do. Yeah.
Yes, you don't got nothing to worry about.
I was wondering if A Boogie would be someone that you'd be interested, or maybe have something's in the works there. I mean, I'm just curious personally because I remember just seeing something that you posted, really giving A Boogie his flowers back in like 2016, and this was like before he had any major, like any songs out on major streaming services. What?
How you found that?
We have to know.
I can't remember, but that's tough.
I mean, a good interviewer can't reveal his research. I mean, what I
that's
mean?
Tough.
It'd be nothing without that.
That's
but yeah,
tough.
I appreciate that. But gotta do your
Shout out to A
research.
Boogie. See, like people be thinking I'll be tuned in before time. That's crazy.
Let's go to the conversation of close, like these artists that you have like a tight working relationship with, that you're building this movement with. I want to, we talked a little about Tony E. We had Tony E. here. Shout out to Tony E. Amazing new album too, Life is Crazy. You have a verse on that, True to Me, fire song, great verse on it too. I went #1 over the COVID run, right? Yeah.
That's facts.
And he's not capping.
Yeah, that's facts.
No, but like I said, I've heard you say you really value these genuine connections, with artists, working with artists, and we covered the huge placements. So I guess moving on to really you could say like the stars of tomorrow, right? Yeah, 'cause all of these people I'm about to name are bound to, for greatness. Like they're bound for the big stage. First one I want to mention right off, very timely right now, HDBeenDope.
Boy, he's a genius.
He's
genius. I feel that genius in him because he's too. From what people see already, it's just like y'all didn't dig deep. Like, I dig deep with bro, so it's like, you're more, they just, all right, cool. You know what I'm
They
saying?
know him
Like,
from the like the
it's
outside
cool.
perspective.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Yeah. Rock
see
Nation.
that Rock Nation
Yep.
on the bottom of it.
Yep. Yeah, he's going up quick right now for
Yes.
sure, and he's a Brooklyn guy.
That's legendary.
How and when? Yeah. How and yeah. I was curious, like, how and when did you guys first meet?
I felt like maybe right or wrong, probably outside somewhere. No, I went ahead of time. I'm on Apple Music, and something randomly was just playing, and I'm like, yo, this kid, nice. But then it's just like, I feel like I've seen his name before, whatever. But I'm just listening to all the records that's out now, and I'm like, I don't know, he's giving me like, and I was like already like Kendrick, I think Baby Keem.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna say
starting,
Baby Keem a
like,
little bit.
Little J. Cole, like all the GOATs mixed in one. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like we need rap and energy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I hear it in him, but I feel like I could just, you know how like, you try to make somebody breathe, CPR, so that last one, they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I feel like these beats just hit them with the, like, all right.
He brings so much energy, like, on so many of his songs,
Yes.
right? And it's like such a calculated, conscious energy, you know what I mean? Kind of like what Baby Keem
Yes.
does, like, shines through on a lot of his songs, and like he's got it, like he's definitely got it.
Facts.
Amazing new EP you guys just put out. What Can They Say? Out now. Go get that.
Yes.
That was fire. That was absolutely insane. But next artist I wanted to talk about, Lola Brooke, another Brooklyn artist, right? You produced Don't Play With It.
Don't play with it.
That's a great song.
Shout out to Semi, Tsunami.
Absolutely. Violations. How'd you, I guess, first, what's the backstory with
So,
Lola?
with Lola, I met her at Rolling Loud. And I just pulled up on her like, yo, like I seen her interview before. Not her interview, like her freestyle. And I'm running to her now, like face to face now. I'm like, yo, you know, I want to work with you, this and that. So we just exchanged numbers, Instagrams, just, you know, regular 1, 2, 3. And then once after Rolling Loud, went back to the crib and just sending her beats before Don't Play With It. It was just, she was doing her like end of the year or the beginning of the year freestyles. So that just started a spark. So once that spark happened, the day with Don't Play With It being made, after us building the chemistry and everything, me, Semi, Tsunami had sent the melody pack over. Me and Semi just in there going back and forth, going drum, going back. So while we just I'm putting the tags on and everything, I'm like, I know who could do this.
She's dope. Like,
And
you guys obviously
shout out to
kill it,
Lola.
yeah.
I called her. She picks up. I'm like, you hear this? She's like, yeah, send it to me. So boom, send it to her. I'm not too sure when she went to record it, but when she sent it back, she's like, yo, I don't know if I want to put somebody on this. And I'm like, who you thinking? You know what I'm saying? So it's a bunch of females that is just, and then at the point I'm just like, go for yourself, you know what I'm saying? But if you do go with somebody, just, make it, But what's my highest bidder is like, just do the record yourself. You know what I'm saying? But still, you want to put another female, it's still going to be big for hip hop.
Like a hit, like a hit for the ladies.
Yeah, so it's just big for hip hop. So it was like, at a time, she was like, yo, she made up her mind who she wanted. She was like, she was going to go with Billy B. So it was just like, what's so crazy, I don't know if, now I'm ahead of time with your questions.
No, I keep it coming.
Billy B, she was rapping on my beat before anybody. And for me to get a female, I was like, oh, shoot. But shout out to DQ is another fun fact. But she's another female rapper. I started working with her. It's probably a lot of fun facts. But in the main scene of like energy is like Billy B. I'm thinking she's from Cali. She's not from Cali. After a while, I realized she's from Brooklyn. So then after that, it was just like in between time, Dream Dolls and it's just. But for somebody like that's sis, so whatever, that's already granted. But I'm talking about somebody like core building in the way of like in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the studio with Lola, so it was just really catching her energy more and knowing it's like, I know her bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You have that, you have that chemistry with the music making, right? That's right on brand, right on.
It's everybody can have their own ears. You know what I'm saying, to things, but it's your ears golden. You know what I'm saying? You got an ear, I got an ear, but you may not hear what I can hear.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So
It is
it's
a
not
gift.
about who, what. It's just who got a gift for things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Completely see what you're saying there. So, another artist too, Tony E. We mentioned. That I wanted to ask like one or two particular questions. You know, Sleepless Nights was a collab project, right? And dropped in 2019.
I like how you remember the years because I do so much work, I can't remember at times. But 2019 was one of them years where it's like all or nothing. And I was in a retreat studios, like in Marlboro, upstate, just in there, just back to back, just locking in, cooking up, locking in. And I just came across those videos, and I'm like, damn, like the dedication of these records being made. So at a point, we just went with the Sleepless Nights because it really was feeling like that. Like we both was having our own roles, but the grind was just clashing. It's like, yo, we both know what we want. I'm saying we just figuring out our steps on our own and our own destiny. So it's like,
Yeah, I was good.
It
That was
really-
literally what I was gonna
like,
ask
it was
too.
definitely
You guys
no
weren't sleeping
sleep.
either, yeah.
no sleep.
Was that why you ended up calling it that? Because you were up.
Yeah, we just came to a point where it was just like
Call it that.
all records was made between 12 to like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like 12 to 5. Sometimes I just still be there and the sun come up. So
So I think Tony mentioned when he sat down with me that you guys first met each other. I think through Swave.
Yes.
Something like that. But and shout out Swave too.
Swave,
We
and
just
shout out
had
to
on here,
Swave.
absolutely.
They was doing a record, so that's my first time even meeting Loso. Like it was just everything was just connected, and it wasn't nothing was forced. You know what I'm saying? So
So I particularly listed those three artists, first because they all performed with you at the Meadows in Brooklyn. Now, one of the songs you performed at the Meadows was with Tony E, called "Blood Brothers." It's an unreleased song. Is that coming out soon? I hope it is.
So you mentioned Restless Nights. So yes, that's we're actually fake gearing that up now.
That.
And we throwing Blood Brothers on there. So, it's just I don't know if that was the missing puzzle of, but and then you got the other records that nobody know about. So
Yeah, no, say less on that. I'll be waiting patiently.
you have to hear that.
Yeah, no doubt. So at that show though at the Meadows, you guys all killed it. Like the energy just shifted when you guys took the stage. Like I'm not even gassing you. Like that's what it was.
Clashed. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Putting puzzles together, just knowing, hearing, just I don't know. And at the moments it was just the tempo of how the beats was going. So
One of the things you did at that show, in addition to killing it on stage,
yes,
was you threw a flash drive into the crowd, I think, with 100 violation beats on it.
a lot of people was like, yo, why you didn't just give it to me? I'm like, yo, I'm throwing, all right.
I
So
hope
what?
like an artist ended up catching it or something.
And whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So
Have you ever done anything like that at a show prior to that?
I'm gonna do more things where
Yeah,
it's
sure.
just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know the next inspired artist coming up, and I'm, bigger than life, and just these shows happening, and they're like, oh, I gotta go to this show because he just be throwing flash drive with beats, and how I go, people
Yeah,
look back
it's
and
an
be like,
appeal,
yo,
yeah.
I gotta get a beat from him.
Absolutely.
So, hey, I gotta catch one. You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. So I'm wrapping up here like these artists, because I think these last two artists are a good segue right into like your endeavors, like things that you've accomplished in and outside of music, things that you want to accomplish. But first, another artist, 94 Jew, right? Is that your
boy
your
Jew,
cousin, or is
yes.
that yeah?
That's like we not like that's my blood. I don't care
Yeah,
what it was. That's, you feel me? That's bro.
So he was on Pressure.
Yes.
So was artists like Stevey Steve, who's dope.
Yes, I just got off the phone with Stevie
Yeah.
Steve. I feel like I want to sign Stevie Steve.
Yeah. So you wanted.
Chris, you feel like we want to sign Stevie Steve?
Shit. No, so that's exactly where I'm going with this. And shout out Mercy Porter, Fergie Baby,
Fergie Baby.
Keen Streetz.
Smoke Fall Rock.
Yeah. No, that verse on that album, ridiculous. I got Richmond like Virginia. It was actually ridiculous. So I just wanted to, give him his flowers in this conversation of
I want to
artists.
shout out to a couple artists. I don't
So
know
that's my next
if
question.
you don't have if you may not have on the list, you know, shout out to Ziico, Niico, you know, Uptown, got London Hill, you know what I'm saying? Young Devyn, if you don't have her on there. You got Miliano, you got my boy Jacques. These are the people that I striving, you know what I'm saying? I'm going for people that still kind of digging, you know what I'm saying? Versus just, you know, getting to that point.
How about Young Zay? Is that someone?
Free my boy.
Free Young Zay for sure. No
And
doubt.
I swear, if that name did not come up in there, that had to come up in there. Because that's...
Your work with him brings us kind of right where I want to get into, because you executive produced two bodies of work of his, correct?
Yeah.
I'm assuming there is. I would like to hear you speak on it more. Like, there's a lot more that goes into executive producing a body of work than just whipping up all the beats. Like, right? I mean, what other...
If I was to say to really go into a Dr. Dre 50 Cent mode, just because the energy is just like, again, going off of freestyle. Nobody, yo, go check bro out. I'm just like, yo, he's killing that freestyle. I want to, you see? So the first time we met up, he bought beats for me. And at a point, I had to stop that. Because I'm like,
I got
it
you.
ain't about the money, bro. This something bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So how did Violation get started? Is it a group? How many is it? A group of? Is it five? Is it five producers?
what it means, father.
So how did that kind of get started? And you know, is it? You guys are doing some amazing stuff. You know, obviously. So you planning on turning it into something way beyond just? I mean, you really already have. But is it something that you would describe as way beyond just, you know, beat making and making fire
Bigger
beats?
than music.
It has to be, right?
It's bigger than music. Like, it's like if you was to take my brain out of my and just kind of put it to see what's going on, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's what he was thinking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm in my own world. You know, so that's why I just be like, I really dead be confused. Like, I don't, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not,
You get dizzy?
for real, if that's the case, like, what we talking about? Because it's like, I really don't, you know what I'm saying? I'll go sit in the room and just be like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. While everybody's just...
Yeah, no doubt. So combining all these things, because it clearly goes way beyond just making beats and just making music in general, rapping, you know, what are your long-term goals for navigating the industry?
I really want to dig deep with music where the sound change, where it's like more developed versus anything like, because there are artists that really are dope, and then I hate to see them just like shelved or they just, you don't hear from them anymore, but they still have, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still energy in there. It's like everything just starts to die out so fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like a wave you don't want to be on.
Absolutely.
Like,
Quick question, too, about being independent versus perhaps signing to a label. You've said, at the end of the day, it comes down to providing for my family. It's too easy to respect that. Now, I'm curious, like, what are some conditions a record label would have to meet in order to sign A-Banko and ensure, you know, in turn that his family is provided for?
I put it like this, just give me the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give me the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too much. Like, I look at life where it's like we probably seen the biggest, and then they took the biggest L. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I don't want to be like that. Like, you can live how you want to live. You don't really have to do what everybody else is doing, where it's like, if my man got a yacht, still love him. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go get a yacht. I'd rather just be on a farm. You know what I'm saying? I'm just different. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. So I want to jump into like your music career a little bit, like Pressure. We touched a little bit on it. 12-track project dropped back in 2020. Is it true that that project dropped the same day that Pop Smoke passed away?
damn, it did.
That's crazy. That's actually absurd.
Facts.
That's ridiculous when you think about it. Because
Chris,
you
facts,
had
right,
it
Chris?
queued up.
Damn, it dropped the same. Pressure dropped the day Pop Smoke album dropped. I think it did. I would have to go.
And you
my
had it
IG.
queued up, obviously, right, to go like for a while in advance. So like that's crazy. Like that is really.
Yeah, that was. It's one of those moments like, what? Like,
It's
like
just
that just
shock.
happened. Like I feel like I feel like I wanted to just take my thing down and just
Yeah, and just
give it another day. And I think I did. I feel like I did. Like or something I did. I think I did. Matter of fact, I took it down.
It's hard to like be promoting your own
Yeah,
shit.
like
do
I think I
all that.
archived something I did, or I took it down or something. I know I didn't keep it up because it was like that joint was weird. It was weird to me. Like, what the
Absolutely. What, as far as like what went into making the album, you've said you were going through some stuff at the time, right? And you were just kind of writing stuff down over beats that you were making. I'm always curious to know, especially like in your situation, does making all these like fire beats naturally feed into being able to rap well?
Yeah, because you're just taking a practice at it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I'm around different artists, so I'm just feeding the energy. It's not even like a style I want. I'm just like in the energy, and then at a point you'll figure yourself out.
Would you consider one of those artists that you put on the project to be your daughter, Amara, who
Yeah,
definitely spits on the intro there?
she
That was a nice touch. for
shout out to
sure.
my cousin Kia. Like she sent me a video. I was in LA, yeah, and she just talking, and she said pressure, and if she really didn't, but it really was like clear and set, like, that's the reason I even titled it pressure, like hearing that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm putting on the skit of that because
That's actually really, really
that's
cool.
crazy.
That's really cool. I didn't know that actually. That's dope.
We have time if I could call her real quick.
What's up? Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if she up. See
No
what she's
doubt.
doing. Say hi to everybody.
How's it going?
Huh? I'm doing the interview.
Huh?
I'm doing the interview.
I come with you?
They asked about you too.
I said, yeah.
See?
That's
They
crazy.
just asked about you.
That's crazy.
How you feeling? Good?
Well, I got behind me.
You got a boo-boo? You got a Band-Aid? Yeah, we gotta fix that. But I'm gonna call you when I finish this, okay? Don't peel it. Do not peel it off. Leave it alone. I'm gonna call you when I finish, okay? Knucklehead. Knucklehead. Applehead. I'm pressing it.
No, I'm pressing it.
So hurry up.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Like, there are a lot of people that I have on, and like every time they have kids, daughter that they have like such a close relationship with, it's just it's such a naturally like nice feel thing to observe.
It was like one of those like fragile moments where it's like, yo, she's so small. Like, you know what I'm saying? How to hold, and I just like took on those roles, just like really mastering that so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the sense of every step, just watching every little thing, first words, like my phone between life and life, because people try to put the two into a DeAndre or A-Banko. No, it's the same life. The growth in between, like, it shows nothing but between music and that, just pushing.
How would you describe fatherhood in like a nutshell?
I don't know about everybody else's situation, but I never had too much of I'm was more of the me worrying, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like nurturing her as a female, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how crazy the world is. Some things you just like, yo, that's wrong, you know what I'm saying? How people treat, or how to, just whatever it is, it's just like, nah.
Didn't you always want a daughter too, specifically? Like you were hoping for a daughter?
Spoken existence, because
Yeah.
I really said that, and that's what I got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
You said having a son would be just too easy, right? Is that something like that?
Yeah,
Like-
it's because in the same breath, I'm like, how they say you treat, like the way you treat your daughter is like how you treat a female in a different element,
Yeah.
like how you speak.
and that's
with
gonna be her perception of.
So it's like with
down the
me,
road
it's
of
just
men.
like, not saying like I was just one of them nasty people, but it's just like you catch yourself. Whereas it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a daughter, I wouldn't even want another. You know what I'm saying? Like you just start principling yourself, basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I did have one or two more questions about pressure too. I was curious, and I guess this does relate to your daughter. What could have been in certain ways. And I know this is like you hold this close to heart. So again, I'm not that kind of interviewer that's going to make you jump in and speak on anything you don't want to speak on in any sort of depth. But from my understanding, you were, correct me about the details if I slip up here, but you were on your way back, like I guess back home, wherever, from picking out the track list to the Pressure project.
Yeah.
And you ended up getting in a car accident. Is that true?
Facts.
Right. So you've said in the aftermath, quoting you, it put your back against the wall. You said you slipped a little bit, but within that, I guess you could say there was some silver lining because people, you could say maybe started to show their true colors. You know that when you were in a vulnerable state. And it kind of provided maybe some clarity for you. Would that be fair to say?
It's one of those moments where it's like you can't even question God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even question, because that's like you questioning your gut.
Mm-hmm.
So when you question both of those situations,
That's real.
you're done. You know what I'm saying? So I've been questioning a lot so much in life that I stopped questioning. I stopped, you know what I'm saying? I started going with my first instincts.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna get a Pressure too? Like, is that something?
You gotta ask A-Banko.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
we need a good feature from her. I think
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
fair to say.
Got some things in the works, so we'll double back to that.
Absolutely. This new 2-pack out now, right? Recognize and Expand, right?
Yeah, reintroduction of a lot of just the new NWO.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
it's a testimony in both records, and then the title just gives it what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got a story to tell, because, you know, people just gonna label you one way or how they want to do it, but only you could tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
who can tell your story than
Hell
you?
no, no one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you're a normal person, you know yourself better.
You're gonna believe everything else, but you got to get it from the source.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I wanted to ask something about one of the things you do best, obviously beat making, and diving a little bit into your beat making process, because I feel like a lot of people would be curious to know.
What's the difference between beat making and producing?
Is beat making?
Beat making, like, it's you know what I'm saying?
Producing is a full.
It's like fast food.
That's it. That's really
Just wrap the
interesting.
burger, boom, 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 wrap it up. Here you go.
Damn. That's a very
We talking about hibachi, raw, boom, chef it, serve it. You feel good?
And then what?
You feel me?
Yeah. No. So then, what would be the?
Hibachi. I might go to the hibachi.
So then, production. What would that be like? More of a, like a Peter Luger's or a nice, you know what I mean, type thing. Like a nicer. Does more go into that? If you know just. You know, beat making is
Yeah, it's you really, you're, you know what I'm saying? Is you really putting it, it's like you're bringing somebody into your world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you don't want somebody to label you a different, how they say it, podcast, or you want to be known for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how that.
Absolutely. So I've heard you say producers can really go for as long as they want. It's not like, a lot of lyricists where it's like you might lose some creativity. It's harder to maintain creativity and messaging, right? Do you ever see yourself stop? Like, do you see yourself being old and gray and still plugging away on the producing?
Somebody better do it right at the time, when it's, but I don't.
I wouldn't complain if you said, hey, I'll do this till the day I die.
Yeah, listen, I'm hands-on. When I'm locked in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't love the feeling, then you have other people doing it. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Kind of just like shifting more to the personal side, kind of some wrap-up questions here. You moved from the Bronx. You moved out of the Bronx. Obviously, you have a daughter, which we've covered. So I guess it's not technically the suburbs, but like, how's life been? As I guess I can't say a suburban dad, right? But how's that life
Like, just
treating you in general?
Just up in there in general.
Yeah, being up there,
Yeah, like, it was
a
a
family.
Up there was just like, I don't know, like I label it life, where it's just things were just happening, and it's just like you're noting it, and you just moving on. It's just growth, but behind the whole feeling with it is just I got to think more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not around everything that's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
in
There's
the
like
city.
openness, like there's get more in
So-
touch with little nature and
The
stuff.
fact that I was like, I gotta just tap in more with myself and
You
stuff.
glad you made the move and
Yeah,
everything
and,
like that?
and the move was fake, forced in a way, due to legal stuff.
Yeah.
And once being up there, I'm just running and meeting people, and met Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
absolutely. I was gonna say shout out Chris, right? Like if you listen to Chances too, Off Pressure, right? There's that one bar that I was like, oh shit, that's about Chris. It was like me and Chris have long talks about us getting rich, right?
It's very true.
Probably weren't capping in that bar.
Very true.
No doubt. But what does A-Banko enjoy doing in his spare time? Like, what are some things that you can find?
I be watching, like, beginning to, realize the universe and society. Like, I'm enjoying of, watching documentaries, movies.
Pulp
I- I
Fiction? Is that one of your favorite movies?
Not my favorites.
Because I saw you wearing a Pulp Fiction shirt in that interview. Shout out On the Radar,
Sam,
Gabe. that produced
Gabe,
yours.
yeah. Oh, back then you've seen the.
Yeah, like that was at your studio too, right?
Yeah, no, I was at the retreat.
Oh, okay, that was the
That's
retreat?
Way back. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
that's where Sleepless.
Yeah, no, when you said retreat, yeah.
So it's just like, it's not one of my favorite, but it's like one of the movies I could watch. Like, You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But now, in the sense of doing things, it's like, all right, just excitement with me, because all I do is just run to the studio at times. So it's just like, let me try doing other things. Let me try taking a nap. You know what I'm saying? Get some rest. Not look at the phone. You know what I'm
You
saying?
still watch Walking Dead these days? That's a thing for you?
Yo, if I start rewatch it again, y'all not hearing from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be locked in. I should go do that. You know what I'm saying? It's about to start getting cold
Camp
soon.
out, it's
Just
not a
start
bad
watching
thing
it
to
from the
do.
beginning
Yeah.
again. You know what I'm saying?
There's I think a tie and like an intersection to two different things you said. The first being getting in touch with the universe. There's a lot of internal work, like that goes into that. One of those things I feel like mental health, but physical health, taking good care of yourself. Now I saw, I think it was almost a month to the day. You tweeted, "I'm going on like a month cleanse. No alcohol, no junk food, no weed, no nothing, no negative
Just whatever,
people."
Yeah.
You make it through the whole month?
It's tough.
It's
Tough.
tough.
I'll be lying right now.
You at least like cut back on all
Yeah,
those.
that's
things?
what it is.
Yeah,
Like I said to myself, I'm just gonna do like, I said to myself, and then said to other people, like, I'm gonna do 4 months, whatever the case be.
Yeah.
Like just giving that.
4 months was
pressure,
a lot,
like,
though,
yeah,
right?
for people to hear the number, like, oh, you should just try. So like lesser days. So I went for 10 days, nothing. Right. At first I slipped up, but I was like, let me start fresh. I went straight 10 days. I tried it, and I'm thinking I was supposed to have a feeling that I was supposed to, like, I always be feeling. It was just like, I don't want this shit.
Yeah. Were you at least going to the gym and stuff like that? Like
Yeah, like, shout out to my boy Tay. Like, for me, like, I cut down, like, a lot, where it was just like, I used to just be like, and I feel like that built up around the times, like, I feel like stressing. You stress, you like, fuck, I'm going to eat whatever. I don't care.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So once I'm like, let me just lock in the stool. I mean, not lock in the stool, lock in the gym. Huh?
Yeah, the gym.
Then locked in the gym. Like, me and my boy Tay was just boom, 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 just. And then one day he was just like, yo, I'm going to take a picture. Took a picture. And I'm like, hold on, let me go find, like, my baby shower picture.
Yeah.
So when I seen that and then put with the new picture, I'm like, dang. All right. And then you start feeling like, you know what I'm saying? You start feeling yourself. You're getting that core feeling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. No, absolutely.
I got to go back.
Now you're at the point where
I
it's
want to
like
really
you're
go
itching,
back.
Yeah,
Yes,
get back
because,
there.
I want to get back in this.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good space to be in. Another thing too, thing that I feel like you seem to be very passionate about too is drip. Clothes. You seem like you're always walking around making sure that you got you're not lacking in the drip department.
Yeah, and it's not where I felt like I had to do the most to impress anybody. Like I just was like, all right, how would you just put this together? So I treat it like when I do my productions, like you put the beats together, who you gonna put.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like with that, it's just like, all right, the J's, what less color, not to, you know, you don't want to be where you just have the same J's matching the same shirt and just look like a flag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was gonna ask if you still have those white cement 4s from back in the day.
damn, I need a pair.
So did you
should
trash
go- I
the
should go
pair
tra-
you bought like
Nah, I don't.
long ago?
I didn't try. Something.
They just
had
got
to-
worn. I mean,
Something had to happen. I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I still got J's. For me, I got the Raptors on. Like
Yep.
they got the new ones out. I got the classics on right now. So it's just the fact that I don't care. You know what I'm saying? What everybody else got on. This is what I want to put on.
You, yeah.
4s, but that I should go treat myself.
4s. I mean, I know
Go
you
to
had a
stadium
pair like
goods.
back in the day, and like I remember you
Yeah,
saying
me
like
and Chris
you.
was camping out for them things.
Yeah.
Like we
That's
camped
what's
out
up.
for J's, like things that if we would dare not do right now,
Yeah.
we would like really be on you like, stupid. Why you camping out?
People do the craziest shit for shoes. Like I used to
mean,
do
like,
that a little bit.
There's no more camping out. I used to camp out for every we all did, like the Olympics, everything. Camp out, and then it's like you snooze, you lose. Like, you know.
What it is. From shoes though to clothes, I wanted to ask you one thing in this drip conversation. You rep a lot of Muggsy McFly.
Shout out to Muggsy.
Yeah, I wanted to give him.
That's my boy,
shout out.
Uptown.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
saying Uptown, rapper.
Here's a fun question. Curious
Hold
to
on,
know.
before you get to
no.
that.
Say what?
Shout out to all the black-owned companies, my peoples. There's a lot. Y'all know I put it on. I put that on. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give them all a shout out. Visionary, for me, Valves to Vibland to Foreign. It's just, you know what I'm saying. This is black-owned stuff right here. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Drop the names too again, so you know.
Like, you got
make sure people know. Like
this is Vibland. This is Foreign Fiends. This is Jay's. My son Mike, he got his clothing line. We doing a collab. Like, this is T. Like, it's just it's a
no doubt.
black owned. You know what I'm saying? You out there creating something, I'm rocking.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to ask too, like, I don't know if this is something still like your style here, but are you still the type of guy who will get his girl a teddy bear, or have you leveled up there?
Teddy bear's like a stamp.
Yeah. So I interviewed Dion Waiters recently, right? And he said 3 months in, his girl got his name tatted. 3 months in.
3 months?
Yeah. She was at the tattoo parlor.
Girl tatted your name?
No girl has ever tatted my name on herself before. Maybe I'll get there one day. It's got to be the right girl for me to do it, and I would only do it if she does it.
But her name,
Yeah.
her name on you?
She would have to go first, no doubt. Like, respectfully, not even to be toxic, just.
That's tough.
You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm about that, but I wanted to take these last few questions, kind of toss over to you what you like 1, 2, maybe 3 things that you want to make sure that people are aware of, that you want to promote and be like, look out for this, or anything we haven't covered that you got going on that we should make sure we cover.
You dibble dabble some questions. Great questions too.
Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? I don't like how I go about things and telling people what, like, that joint be stored in my head. I don't even speak it out. I just act accordingly of doing what I speak on. So it's like you just really have to just watch. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Well, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? The energy shows for what I want. Then, like, the energy shows the worth. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's not even the worth and the work. So it's just like, watch out for, we got new, just things that you may not see me do before. All of that's coming out, just branding violation to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going for, like, bigger and better. You know what I'm saying?
Keep expanding, right?
Basically, yes. Expand. And that's just it. Like I said, we be in our own world. We just know what to get and we know how we want to live. You know what I'm saying? So when we know we have a plan.
And you're only here once, right? Like, I've heard you say you're very, like, eager to get the most you can, right, out of life. Something, like, you can describe that as ambition, you know, at the end of the day. But it seems like you're definitely living up to that mantra, that theme, mindset.
Living, you know, your dream, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the start of it, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those moments like, yo, like, especially it hit different when you were by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it's like, yo, dang, I do a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
much that you
So,
forget all the things that have
I
happened
really-
in your
yeah,
life.
It's not even nothing like it's not even purpose. Like I really, you gotta walk me down to, you know what I'm saying? Like bring me down memory lane, and I pick back up because it's one of those vaults. You open it, and you start moving folders, and you start going through those situations. So it's just like it's a lot, you know, it's a whole lot, and there's probably some things you probably still ain't.
I'm sure, yeah.
So you might have to probably go back and do some more homework.
Yeah, that's.
But like you on point where it, you know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate that. I do appreciate you taking the time too. I mean, no doubt, this was a lot of fun. Definitely go follow Dizzy on all social media, right?
Social media,
at HDBeenDope, Instagram, streaming.
Violated, blog, we got Violation Sounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like tap in and see what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a culture, it's a company, it's a family oriented. It's not, you know what I'm saying, no gang related thing where we are the gang. You know what I'm saying? The brotherhood inside the situation, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody that I work with. I ain't saying no names, you know what I'm saying? We keep the work covered, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because we don't need no negative energy of who knows what and what is who.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad I got to, you know,
Violation.
maybe not all of it, but yeah, tell your story. Definitely go tune in to everything Dizzy's got going on. Music, beyond music, like, just, I feel like at this point, after, if you made it to the end of this interview, it's easy to buy into Dizzy as a human. I really, it's my take on that.
Yeah.
But definitely subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoyed it. You know, find me on Instagram at Harrison Singer, Twitter, TikTok, the whole 9. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Until next time.
Violation.
Alright.
I've been peeping all the secret hate. What is he to say? No preaching, I got Jesus faith. New flow, new dough, house, big estate. Lord knows I need a bigger space. I let a smile up on my daughter's face. Running through Target, she knows